Baseball took Thursday's game at LSU. The rematch is tonight. It's live on 1010XL AM and streaming at 725. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 80 degrees at 1:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
And for the first time today, Tom McManus will talk about the Jaguars schedule that came out last night.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday is right, obviously.
Come on.
Tom already on Jaguars today talking about it and your podcast.
Yeah.
Third time around for you.
That's all right, man. It's a great time of the year. The schedule is set, and we get to make our predictions. It's fun. It's
absolutely.
A lot of fun.
I love once we have it set in stone so that we can figure out for anyone going to road games. Obviously, like we said yesterday, if you're going to the London games, plan that schedule, the preseason games. I know preseason games aren't nearly as exciting as regular season, but still, those there's a couple of them that will go opposite high school football games, so I don't love that here for the Jacksonville local high schools. But either way, the schedule, like you said, is I think a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
And as far as, I mean, there's a lot of good teams on the schedule.
There are, although the way I saw on CBS how they rank them, right? So they take the combined records of your opponents from the year before.
Which is silly, but yes.
But it's just for 1 year.
Right.
So, and you know it. So where they start doesn't mean where they're going to end. Like the Bears have the toughest, so they say.
Which they have a tough division.
They do, and they got a first place type schedule. Who did that last year? The Patriots. They were 4-13 last year, and then went 14-3 in 1 year, right? So, and we saw the flip of that. With Detroit, went 15-2 and 24, 9-8 the next year. Granted, they lost both their coordinators.
Right. Like, so for instance, the Bills' strength of schedule looking into a year ago, in other words, looking into their strength of schedule, you would have thought, well, they have 2 games with the Patriots, who are a 4-win outfit.
Right, which meant not very good score.
Right. But in reality, you have to change the strength of schedule pretty much halfway through the season.
Correct. No doubt about it. But as it stands today, we're at 22, toughest. You know, now I did a little research. So the bottom 10, we have 7 opponents that are in the bottom 10. So that's good. We do have 2 in the top 10, and then everybody else is sprinkled in between. So, I feel like because, you look around – the division especially, and it is the NFC East. Nobody believes they're going to be any good this year. I think we beat Philly, for the record. I'll throw it out there. Yeah. I think there's a little crack in the armor in Philadelphia, and I think with Jalen Hurts especially. Now, granted, here's the and I'll just throw it out there too. Like, I don't have us winning the division, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't know if we did enough to contend for the title. I think we'll contend for it, but to win the title, again, not to say we can't. I think we're right there. It's a 1-game differential, basically, is the way I'm looking at it. But I think Houston did do a lot. And whether that paper on paper turns into on the field, I don't know yet. It might not. It depends how the quarterback does, like it does for most teams. But I because of the Jaguars, like, you didn't replace ETN, so I don't know. Where's the 13 touchdowns coming from? I have no idea. You could say, well, these tight ends, until we see it, that's only, that's wishful thinking. Educated wishful thinking, right? So, and then on the other side, I hear now I'm seeing the pub for, online, Ventrell Miller, they're really, he's going to make, maybe he will. I hope he does for him and for the team. I know he's athletic. I know he's a tough guy. He can do a lot of good things, but is he going to replace the production of a Devin Lloyd? That remains to be seen. We talked about it yesterday with Louis Ritter, like the outside world's like, well, they didn't really do that much. I'm just saying, looking at it too, I'm like, you're right. They didn't. Now, they plugged holes for glue like grunts. The guard, the tight end, blocking tight end, the DT that we need, the safety that we're, those maybe not superstar players or superstar positions, but much needed positions to be a good team, right? So that it's not as sexy, right? So I don't want to get this, dissuaded by that. Yeah. Am I saying that right? Dissuade?
Dismayed?
Dismayed? I don't think dismayed's the right word. Whatever, you come up with the right word. But just getting off track with that. So, look, I think we're going to be very competitive. I think our schedule is pretty tough. we do go through a stretch where you're like, okay, this is going to be, on the road. But by the way, I do not to, I'm not trying to ruin it right off the top, but I have us going on a run in the end.
All right, good.
There is a run on the end, and I could be wrong at not the very, very end, but close to it. And if I am, because it could go either way, and I'll tell you why I went a certain way. But if it goes the other way, it's a really great run, much like last year.
Awesome. I think swayed by it. Is that what you
persuade? Persuade?
I think
or
just
swayed. Yeah.
Just swayed by it.
Thanks, LB.
Yeah,
I knew you'd have my back.
It eventually was going to come into my brain. Yeah, look, I think when you're talking about comparing the off seasons, the Texans had a better off season than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
More active.
Yeah, that's when I say off season, I mean the roster transactions.
Yeah,
that part of things. Not we haven't gotten to the OTAs and training camp and all that kind of stuff. Joint practices, which there are reports that per Ryan O'Halloran's sources that the Jaguars are open to doing a one-day joint practice with all three of the preseason opponents. So that would be at New Orleans and then home against Carolina and Tampa Bay. I'm sure you're like me, love joint practices. You like to refer to them as joints, just simply joints.
That's right.
Yeah, love joint practices because I think you learn a lot more about the team. At that point in the training camp schedule, the team, your own team is so over going against one another that it's good to get fresh blood in. But yeah, to your point, if the Jaguars are going to be successful this season, that middle stretch, they're going to have to make hay when the sun shines.
After the bye, you're talking.
After the bye.
Yeah. Well, Indy's, come on, at home, boom. Get out of here. Like, just go home already.
Isn't
we're going to beat
you. Yeah, there are certain ones that we feel super confident about.
Absolutely.
Right? We felt, I think, pretty confident about beating the Panthers last year, but as it turns out, the Panthers were a better football team
than we thought.
Than what we had expected.
Or expected, right.
Right. And then the Jaguars last year came super close to losing a couple games, like we've talked about, Raiders and Cardinals, teams that weren't very good, yet they went toe-to-toe into overtime against teams like that. Then you end up beating the Chiefs and the 49ers, but you go on that run late and then you lose that home game to the Bills and you just didn't look very good, right?
Right.
So
your old ways came back.
Exactly. Right. From before the bye. Before the bye. That. Yeah. That Chargers game was huge. You really do, I feel like, within a season, have to kind of take it month by month.
Yeah.
And for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2026, the month to me where they have to win, if not every game, at least I would say actually every game pretty much, but is that November and then early December. Those are such critical games because I do think you have some really tough ones.
I love the at Chicago, Pitt Monday night, at Houston, at Dallas stretch. Even Washington at home is going to be that's 5 tough games. But again, I think they're going to see. That's when however you start, we've seen this before. Everybody's seen it. It's not always how you finish. And if you finish strong, you put it all together. And I don't care if you win the division. By the way, it'll fit right into the rhetoric on the road. Right? We have 42,000. Love y'all. I hope it's all Jag fans. But that's not home field advantage. It's okay. It's still going to rock. It's still going to be great if we get it. But, that whole rhetoric of, no one believes in us. Now we got to go on the road for the playoffs. Well, we've been on the road all year. So who cares?
Right.
It's just another game on the road. It's going to fall right into the hands. And if we get in, which I have us getting in as a wild card, and you're hot, anything can happen in the playoffs.
Absolutely. By the way, your shirt is absolutely perfect for today's show.
I wore it on purpose.
I figured you did. You're a smart man. Yes, he's got the Trevor Lawrence Duval shirt on, and on the shirt, I should say, Trevor Lawrence still has long hair.
Long hair. Man.
My guess is that he's at home right now, and or maybe at the stadium, but that he still has long hair. That would be my guess.
Yeah, you think it's fake?
I do. I think it's a wig, and I think they did a phenomenal job with it. And
how so? I'm like, what's phenomenal about it?
I think they got people who would normally not have paid any attention to the schedule release video to pay attention to it.
Okay.
Like, I think they were able to get more than just diehard Jaguars fans to pay attention to it. And what do they care about? That their video is trending on social media. That, I think, is the goal at the end of the day. It's not about releasing the schedule via those videos. I think that's honestly a smaller part than some of them. I think it's way more about, can they get their video trending on social?
Does a team's video trending on social bring them monetary value or just exposure?
I would imagine there's monetary value in the YouTube.
Okay, so they're cashing in on it too.
That's my guess. If you have
Yeah, you
30,000
sell it. Yeah, you
people
sell
watching.
it to whoever.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's also sponsored.
So then
obviously,
it's
too, but-
a that's a business model.
yeah. But I think they're trying
yeah.
to be, they're trying to be a team that, or a social media team that gets people outside of Jacksonville to notice their project.
Yeah, I mean, look, the quarterback getting his hair cut. Yeah, everyone's like, what? He's getting his. I get that. I echo Fat Tony, who's not fat on Jaguars today. I didn't even see the schedule
In the video.
I
had to
barely
watch
even
it a second time
barely
in order to
even
pay
saw the
attention.
team. So I was just in disbelief that he's getting his haircut, and then it ended up kind of funky. I was like, you look like a beetle almost.
Yeah, that's why I also didn't believe it, is the way the
one of
hair
the Beatles.
looked.
It looked very I don't know, British or something. It just looked funny. I was like, man, it's okay, whatever.
Get him some tea
listen,
and
at the end of the day, and you know what, they should have done like a kick-ass mole.
That would have been great.
That would have been, then you know what, maybe most people wouldn't have believed that.
Well,
like he would never do that,
Remember there was
type
that
thing.
picture that had gone around, and it's like of Trevor walking, and he's got sunglasses on, and
and he looks like,
it looks like he had his
Val
haircut.
Kilmer from Top Gun.
Yeah, that's the haircut that I thought when they were going to do the video that it would be, because obviously Marissa Lawrence, his wife, had teased that there was hair on the floor. So you knew something was coming with that, and based off of the timing related to the schedule. But
it's an interesting way to do it, I guess. But it got, like you said, if it works by getting
attention.
people then and it's you're monetized and it's worth it. I mean, if it's just to be funny, I don't know.
It does seem like some of these social media outfits spent way more time than what the Jaguars did planning theirs and crafting.
I didn't watch
theirs.
a ton of them, but some of them I saw. Yeah, they got a little creative, if you will.
Yeah, the Titans one, they always do that man on the street. I thought that was pretty funny, assuming that people looked like other people. And then they would go up to them and be like, oh, are you so-and-so? And then they'd put the actual picture of the person up. Like the Myles Garrett one was pretty funny because clearly the person, they were wearing a Myles Garrett jersey, but clearly that wasn't Myles Garrett. But then it was also funny, the Joe Burrow one, instead of Joe Burrow's picture, they put up Macaulay Culkin. Because Macaulay Culkin a couple years ago went as Joe Burrow for Halloween.
Right.
So just little stuff like that. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, does that matter? Will we talk about that ever again after this week, as long as Trevor's hair is normal?
Yeah.
No.
Just listen. Give me the schedule. Go get a haircut. That's all I care about. Like, whatever. You want to film it and fool everybody? Whatever. That's cool. As long as it worked for you.
There you go. But
That's good.
we'll break down certainly parts of the schedule. We've got the 3 primetime games, 5 standalone games. So that part's cool.
Fantastic.
We'll tell you our wins and losses. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Your sports talk kingdom.
Where's the jungle?
1010XL.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated ViStar Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids around the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnik. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnikBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Life happens every day, and sometimes it gets in the way. That's why 1010XL makes it easy to listen to your favorites. If you missed it, get it on demand.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
The Jaguars Foundation is hosting an intimate evening of community and conversation at the Sports and Culture Speaker Series. Join us June 2nd and 3rd to hear exclusive perspectives from Jaguars leadership, including Mark Lamping, Tony Vaselli, head coach Liam Cohen, and general manager James Gladstone, as they talk culture, leadership, and building a lasting legacy on and off the field. To be part of the conversation, visit jaguars.com/community/events.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-400-6600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
It's the big reveal. Listen all day for 1010XL's thoughts on the Jags' potential wins and losses this season. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Septic Plumbing and Air Conditioning and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the windows down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I wish country music still got played on country radio. And I wish even cars had trumpets and every road was named Copperhead.
Won't be seeing Riley Green tomorrow, but that's quite all right. Gotten to see Riley Green a few times, but I do love him.
Yeah, he's great too.
He is. And he performed, last time I saw him, he performed with Ella Langley. She was the opening act, and then they also, of course, have that song together that made her famous, You Look Like You Love Me.
Oh, right,
But she will be performing tomorrow. Today is Thomas Rhett as one of the opening acts, and then Ella Langley tomorrow.
I've seen Thomas Rhett, too.
He's great.
Yeah, he opened for Aldine up in North Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah, it was my wife's 40th maybe, and I surprised her with Aldine. I didn't know what I was doing, but I bought clothes. I thought we were going to be like maybe 10 rows back from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we got the tickets. We go. We had a great drive. We get there, and Rhett's on the thing, and we keep going. We go all the way down. We go to our aisle. And we keep going down. We keep going down. My wife keeps looking back. I'm like, I don't really know. I don't really know. Well, we were 10 rows back, but we were the first seats because the first was just like floor.
Okay.
You know, like the mosh pit almost, the pit.
Yeah, it's not so much mosh pit at Thomas Rhett
the pit, right?
But I know what you mean.
But so we were pretty close, and Aldine was right there, so it was a pretty cool night. That was the first night I've ever seen Jason Aldine. I was like, this guy rocks. Like, I'm in, I like the country. It took me a while to get there. You know, I'm marrying a country girl, but when they throw in the good guitar and the drums and all that, then it's cool for me anyway.
Yeah, for sure. There's what I always say is there's a lot of different versions of country.
Yeah.
Like, country may be the genre.
Yep.
But you can find
bluegrass country.
For sure. Right? Like Tyler Childers is bluegrass country.
Yep.
Like soul country, maybe more like a Chris Stapleton.
Mm-hmm.
Pop country, there's a lot that goes into that. And that's not always a negative per se.
No.
Even Zach Brown Band at times I would put in more of pop country or island country. Kenny Chesney, obviously, island country. You've got a lot of different ones. By the way, I forgot to mention a couple weeks ago, we lost David Allan Coe. And that made me so sad.
Oh, yeah.
I love his music.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a great
I forgot
songwriter
about
as
that.
well.
Yeah, he was. Absolutely.
I meant to mention that. All right, back to the Jaguars we go. So we know the 3 preseason, like I said, at New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa Bay, maybe some joint practices with those.
I'll be honest, I didn't even look at the preseason games.
I
don't
did
know.
just because of high school football and how
when it's going to schedule out. The joint practices to me is like when they do that, then the game is more the finding out who the backups are, right? The starters get all the work.
Yeah, if you have a joint practice, you typically don't even play in that preseason game.
Right, go hard those practices, and then you're not playing in the game. But the backups trying to make the team, all those guys are getting the majority of the game reps.
Right.
I like it that way.
I suppose on the positive side, if you are a season ticket holder, the 6 regular season games, you also get 2 preseason games that you get to attend to. Or you get to attend?
Yeah, listen, I think, and for a lot of our fans, it's a party. You know, you go downtown, you go hang out at the stadium, you watch your team, you're having some fun, you're hitting the bud zone, you're hitting all that stuff. And
Party under construction this year.
Yeah, but so what? You'll still have a good time, and then you're done, and you go back to wherever you live.
And you can't lose as long as there's not a major injury. All right,
That's
so the
right.
regular season, the Jaguars open up against the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
I think the interesting storyline for that one is going to be the fact that Travis Hunter might have been taken by the Browns. The Jaguars traded up to get him. Obviously, the quarterback situation for the Browns is another interesting one. Is it Deshaun Watson, who the Jaguars are familiar with, at least as a franchise? Yeah, were. And then, or is it Shedeur Sanders and everything that goes into that part of things? But yeah, I think the national media will certainly focus on that Travis Hunter connection.
Well, here's an interesting thing I found, LB. So, like I mentioned, the Pats last year had the easiest schedule and then flipped it. Guess who in the AFC? The easiest schedule in the AFC. Guess who has it this year?
The Browns.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
So can they? I doubt it because we don't know about the QB.
Right.
But they got a defense. They've got some weapons. They got an offensive line. Maybe you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
And we did mention it yesterday. 7.5-point favorites for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Browns in that Week 1 slate.
Yeah, I'd take it right now. I think.
But I think it's hard just because you don't know the left tackle situation for the Jaguars, and they still have Myles Garrett.
Yeah, well, I look. That's why you grabbed your tight ends. I know you want 12 and 13. Well, sometimes 12 and 13 might need to be to protect your QB.
Yeah.
Have that extra tight end in to go 2-on-1. Double Miles as best you can. And then you can use LeQuint on the other side or in the middle if anyone's coming up blitzing, that type of thing. It'll be a tough game. The first game's always tough. You never know what team's coming out, what mistakes you're going to make, not going to make, the timing of everything, timing of the passes, running, even on defense, tackling, live tackling, full speed game, all that kind of stuff. So you never know how it can go. But I'd be shocked if we don't come away with a W at home opening the season against the Browns.
Yeah, I said this last year. If the Jaguars lose to the Panthers, everyone is going to be up in arms. If the Jaguars lose to the Browns, same thing. Everyone in this town is going to be up in arms.
Absolutely. And we've said we didn't know that Carolina was going to, be a decent team this year. They had a good year. Not a great year, but a good year and finished strong. And we killed them. I mean, it wasn't even close. And Etienne had 8.7 yards of carry. I mean, we ran all of it. He had that long one, right? He had a 70-yarder or something like that. But, listen, you never know in the NFL. And, look, if you got a defense like Houston has shown, you got a defense that's good enough or great, they can carry you for a while. But you got to have the QB at the end of the day.
Yeah, Etienne in that game against the Panthers, 16 carries, 143 yards, Etienne, and the long guess was 71
yards. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was certainly, like we've talked about a lot, the run game was helping the offense dramatically to start last season.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that, at least for that game, that was the plan. Let's run on them and get going. And
right. Should have done that against the Bills, too, but we've talked about that ad nauseum. All right, Week 2 at the Denver Broncos. That one a 4:05 p.m. Eastern time kick. Look, it's hard to look at that game and see anything other than what happened last year, right? Like, that's what runs through your mind. Parker Washington with his massive day. Can that be repeated? I don't know if the Jaguars will have the same kind of urgency that they had in that game last year, right? Like, because they knew they could not lose a game down the stretch, otherwise they might not win the division. And obviously Week 2, there's not that same type of urgency, but I feel like if the Jags can block the Broncos, that could be like a 1-point victory.
Yeah. Well, look, they can definitely beat them. There's no doubt. We don't know about Bo Nix with the ankle.
Right.
They're saying he's going to be back, but be Week 2. I have them losing this game. And the only reason I do, I don't think it's because they're better, but it'll be early in the season. It'll be a revenge game for them. It's at home. It'll be close. But I just have a feeling like this may be. And you know what? I think losses like that kind of wake you up a little bit, and even, especially if you play them tight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you, like we almost had them for whatever reason, we didn't win that game. But I feel like momentum, which will be small because it's only one game, but momentum might be in their favor with the fact that the Jags came in there the year before and whooped that tail. You know what I mean? So they're going to have a lot to I'm sure that Peyton's going to have them. Hey, remember what they did to us last year? So, can we win? Yeah, of course we can win. But I'm going to say Denver figures it out and beats us in week 2.
Okay, and I've got the Jags winning. Again, going to that game, there's just so many great memories of it.
I get it.
In December. Yep. All right, the Patriots at home. Spoiler alert, I've got the Jags 3-0.
Good for you.
Remembering how I just felt like Drake May didn't play well down the stretch in the postseason.
Yep.
And obviously there's all the controversy with Mike Vrabel going on and things like that. So I've got the Jags going 3-0, but then trust me, I'm not going to have them going 17-0.
I got them beating the Pats too. I don't think the Pats are as good as their record was last year. I think it showed in the playoffs. Be interesting on that offensive line. They drafted that Cronover kid from A&M. Big, massive tackle. They've got Morgan Moses on the other side to Will Campbell, right? Campbell, isn't that his last name? He struggled, and granted they say he was hurt.
Morgan Moses sounds like a country singer's name.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but he's been playing for a long time. Big boy. He plays right tackle. But we'll see, because at the end of the day, it's got to be Drake May performing better when the real big time lights come on, like the playoffs. So, and it's early. That's the one thing about early games in the year. You just don't know. And especially with the way you practice, you can't really hit. You're not, preseason's quick and we don't really play that much. And, we're not hitting our stride till like week 4. You know what I mean? Like, so those early games, they really can go either way. But I think we take care of New England. I think we beat them in week 3.
By the way, in thinking about it too, the second week against the Broncos, having added Jalen Waddle, that's another interesting.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, will he follow Waddle? Things like that. I'm
they grabbed a running back too. So they upgraded some things on the offensive side of the ball. But again, it's going to come down to, can Nick stay healthy? And he was performing at a really high level before the injury. So can he get back to that? And
they got Jonah Coleman, the running back.
To
Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
RJ Hobby,
no free agent.
J.K. Dobbins.
Oh yeah, Dobbins. That's he was hurt though last year for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then they got the kid out of UCF, Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They got some juice there. But look, they're going to be a good team. There's no doubt. But again, we'll see what happens with the QB.
All right, so you're at 2-1. I'm at 3-0. At the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe we both have this as a loss. Even though it feels like the Jaguars one day are going to rise up and beat those other cats, it just doesn't seem to happen very often.
Well, I have them at a loss too, and this is a game they can win. They can win every game. That's hard to do. So they're not going to do that. Hardly anybody's going to do that. But Cincinnati, if Joe Burrow's healthy, now we knocked him out of the game, but if he's healthy, I think they would beat us at home. Now I think we can score on them, although. They think they upgraded their D-line like we talked about with Dexter Lawrence, Boye Mafe, those guys. We'll see. Hopefully we're healthy on that left side and can handle things. But again, you got the tight ends there if need be, or an extra lineman like Chuma, who can help out like he did last year. But yeah, I think we're gonna see consistent play from the QB. But I think we're going to still see this team trying to find itself and figure it out still in the first 6, 7, 8 weeks.
I do think that very beginning of the schedule is going to tell us the type of team that the Jaguars are. Like you said, once you get through, maybe push the Browns to the side. But Broncos, Patriots, Bengals, Eagles, Texans all in a row. Like, those are all teams that I know they didn't all make the playoffs last year because the Bengals didn't. But and the Eagles had a down year.
It's a tough start. There's no doubt.
Yeah, those are teams that are traditionally certainly in the playoffs. And so, that part is a really tough start. I do think we'll know certainly by around the bye week kind of how good this team is. But then again, last year heading into the bye, we thought, this team has got massive issues. And then they were able to turn it around.
It's how you finish.
Right. Which is what we'll
No
we'll
doubt.
continue doing for sure. You're listening to Helmets and Heels 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies. Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010XL. Teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 108th PGA Championship, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. After shooting his worst round to par in his PGA Championship career, a 4 over 74, Rory McIlroy grinded for hours on the range, trying to fix his miss with the driver. Well, McIlroy misses another fairway to start his second round. He is in the rough to the left at 1. The projected cut is at +2, so McIlroy needs a red number today to make the weekend here at Aronimink. Aldrich Potgieter leads at 4 under. He's 1 under today through 6. Potgieter, 21 years old. He was the Arnold Palmer Award winner last year as the PGA Tour Rookie of the Year. 9 players at 3 under, 1 back, including Hideki Matsuyama and Chris Gotterup, both in the clubhouse. Scotty Scheffler makes a 3-footer for birdie at his final hole today, the 9th. So Scheffler at 2 under and 2 off the lead. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Joe C. here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain, and royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage, and John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Go? Go!
Clearwater Irrigation. At least do this part. And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you're inside the Kuhn Flowers showroom, you'll find a wide array of gift ideas that will take care of any gift-giving situation. Spend a few minutes there, and you'll see for yourself. That's Kuhn Flowers on Beach Boulevard.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Picket here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools has been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
It's showtime! That's right! The whole world loves Beetlejuice! It's a rowdy, rambunctious, rollicking good time! And a big, fantastical funhouse! We're raising the bar and occasionally the dead! You've never seen anything quite like Beetlejuice! May 12th through the 17th, Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets on sale at fscjartistseries.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dahl on vacation. She'll be back with us on Monday. She, by the way, her family vacation always coincides with the schedule release.
Yeah.
Always.
Does it?
Absolutely. It's so funny how, obviously you just get into a rhythm and it happens once a year and
Absolutely.
always around this time.
And I'll be off Monday, right, for the J Fund.
Yes.
J Fund, the 31st annual Tom Coughlin J Fund Gala, dinner gala, and golf this Sunday and Monday. It's the 31st year of the J Fund, and that's Jay McGillis' number, as I mentioned. My father's number too. I'll throw that in there, but. A lot of Jay's roommates are coming. They haven't really been, or maybe have once in a while, but haven't for a while. Here's a little trivia for everybody out there. One of Jay's best friends growing up is Steven Marciano. And yes, he is the nephew of Rocky Marciano. His father, Peter, was the youngest sibling in the family. And I don't know if Rocky was the oldest, but he's the oldest brother, I think. And Peter, Steven's father, was the 17th kid.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So how about that from Brockton?
Catholic?
Yeah, Italian Catholic. Yeah.
Wild guess.
Maybe. And from Brockton. And they grew up together, Steven and Jay, best of friends.
Oh.
And both played defensive back. Both played for Brockton, which is a big high school up there that produced a lot of, big name players, throughout the years. Still does, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Do people, I know it's been 31 years, but do people still get emotional?
Oh, yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. They still honor Jay every spring game. One of the players gets voted to wear number 31. He's supposed to emulate what Jay was all about, which was just, a good kid.
Yeah.
Did everything right, played hard. He was a good safety. Jay was a really good safety. He started as a freshman where many kids didn't,
right?
Especially at Boston College. And Coughlin loved him from the beginning because he was physical, never complained. When he ran us to death, he never said a word. Didn't. If he had to throw up, he just didn't. Wasn't a problem. Jay was just that kind of guy. And for what Coach has done it's just really remarkable. All the families here, up in New York, in that area. Just helping so many families that have children with cancer. It's so remarkable what he's done based off of the life of Jay McGillis. So it's going to be a really special time this weekend.
Absolutely. It is interesting to me almost in the sense of if Jay didn't have that happen, would there be the ability for our city to help those, and in New York too, help those families battling childhood cancer? It's not that you would have ever wanted Jay to lose his life that young, but look at the legacy that's left.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There are other great organizations.
Mm-hmm.
The Child Cancer Fund is one of them. There's plenty, especially here, around here. Obviously with Tom and his stature and his position as a legend in the National Football League, the amount of friends that he has that are high profile, that love him, love coming to the J Fund. Obviously, they love playing sawgrass. That's always a nice added benefit.
That's a bonus.
But they are always gracious. I mean, the gala the night before is a lot of fun. You just see a lot of, like, people you see on TV, ESPN people, and see, just all of them. Aikman on Fox. You just see, and then you see players, you see former players, see current players, see a bunch of, just well-known NFL people. It's fun to see them and that
you
kind
wear
of stuff.
tux?
No,
Okay.
no. And it's more like resort casual.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's outside on the lawn again, the gala, or part of it is. So, yeah, Kelly and your team, you guys rock. You guys, and Avery, my oldest, she volunteers. She does a lot of volunteering for the J Fund. So it'll be a great, great weekend. And Saturday night, we got a little get-together with all the BC guys. Fluty's going to be there, Diassi. Some Bill O'Brien will be in town, the head coach. He comes in. Michael Panos, of course, who brings him in. So, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I think I'm chilling tonight. Is what I'm saying.
I can understand that.
Yeah, no doubt.
By the way, speaking of tonight, I saw that the Jacksonville Waves game against the Charlotte Crowns is sold out.
Oh, is it?
The opening night tonight.
How about that?
Yep, it's completely sold out. So congrats to Donna Orender and the team. Absolutely, a round of applause for all of them and all
That's
the hard work
incredible.
they put in. I know.
Way to go.
Yeah, so
all right.
I think that's going to be very cool. If you did not get tickets, you can watch it on their YouTube. So you can watch every game that the Jacksonville Waves play on their YouTube. So that's also very cool. But yeah, wanted to give them certainly a shout out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Continuing on along with the schedule, let's at least get through to begin the bye week. So we've got, I've got the Jags beating the Browns, the Broncos, and the Patriots, and then losing to the Bengals.
Yep.
You've got the Jags going win-loss, win-loss.
Yep.
And then Eagles, Texans in London.
Yeah.
Eagles I have as a loss, Texans I have as a win. I feel like it could also be flipped, honestly, and go 1-1. I'm just going to use the fact that the Jaguars will have been in London for a week, and the Eagles, the Texans, that would be their first few days there. But I think they're both tough games.
I have it flipped.
Okay.
I think Philly's got a crack. I think it starts with the QB. They're going to be tough. They're going to be a good team.
They're loaded with talent.
They are. They got a ton of talent. And I like Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying he's a liability or anything, but there's a little crack in the game, in the offense with Sirianni as well. I don't know. I feel like they could be for the taking there, which brings me to the Texans and the loss, because I just feel like that's going to be such a big win, and you're going to be there for 2 weeks. I know a lot of people, they'll be well-rested. They're not going to be well-rested. They're going to be tired and wanting to go home is what they're going to want. And then the Texans are going to come in fresh. They're going to be jacked up being there. I mean, it'll be a tough out. Don't get me wrong. It won't be any kind of, it'll be a tight game. But I think I go another one loss. But we beat Philly, which would be great, and we lose to the Texans.
In 2017, that's how the team started. Win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. I remember vividly because we didn't know what this team was through 6 games. Obviously, it turned out pretty well. From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. Y'all can always get in on the action. Yeah. Isn't it strange that we have to play at the Bengals and at the Broncos 2 years in a row?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, for sure.
And another person said, we didn't have Travis Hunter against Denver. Last year.
We didn't need him.
But certainly didn't need him. And they didn't have Jalen Waddle last year either. So that does change things.
Yeah.
And then one other from the text line, I think Cleveland is going to be able to tell exactly how good or bad this team is. The Jacksonville Jaguars will beat the Broncos because Nix's ankle is degenerative. So I think you're going to see a lot of people in that 9-10 range.
Yeah.
We'll obviously continue.
Listen, I think 10 is the minimum for this team.
All right.
I would. You know what? I'll probably bet the over again. I'll take 9.5 in the over.
Yeah, we got to get you to Vegas to collect your winnings anyway.
I know. Actually, I got a proxy, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think I got it worked out.
I figured you would know somebody that could handle it.
You got to know some people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I do know that you do know some people. Also, one person said that I spend too much time on social media because I knew that Macaulay Culkin went as Joe Burrow for Halloween. I didn't know that until today. I watched the video and I saw the picture of Macaulay Culkin that the Titans had up, and I was like, why do they have Macaulay Culkin? So I Googled it. Right. So no, I promise you, I don't
he looks like
him on social media.
Just smaller.
Yeah, exactly. It was a hilarious Halloween costume.
That's great.
All right, more scheduled to get through and Tom's Takes. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
It's
starts this Friday. A new chapter on 1010XL, The Lead, premieres with Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran. Friday afternoons 4 to 6 on 1010XL.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Written by Bowden Iron Associates.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance painting.
Hacker here with an opportunity. Drop 40 pounds by the 4th. You can do it. I dropped my first 40 in 6 weeks. Hayes did it. Dempsey, Amber, and thousands of others have done it. 40 by the 4th. Awaken. 180weightloss.com.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated company right here on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence, you can trust the Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
When you hear Florida Gators baseball on 1010XL, it's brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
What was the name of Van Morrison's first band? The answer coming up.
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Van Morrison's first band was called Them.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Holding me back. Gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dell on vacation. This song is called As It Was, right? Isn't that the name of the song?
I don't know.
That's what it's called.
It's a nice beat, though.
The first opening act for the show tonight and the show tomorrow night in Gainesville, Zach John King is his name, and he covers this song. I don't know if he's going to play it necessarily, but he has a country cover of the song.
Wow. So is Ella Langley playing tonight or tomorrow?
Just tomorrow night.
Just when you're going tomorrow.
That is correct.
Yeah, that'll be great.
The show
Cool.
begins at 5:30. So if I was going today, it would be hard to get there in time.
Get there.
Today is Zach John King, Gavin Adcock, Thomas Rhett, and then Morgan Wallen. Tomorrow, everything same except Ella Langley in, Thomas Rhett out.
That's good.
Nowadays, it's interesting. They didn't ever used to have as many openers as they have now, but B, they also didn't used to change out opening acts.
Yeah.
It was like one tour was the exact same all the way through. And now they mix it up. And then now also people, like this is obviously Morgan Wallen's tour.
Mm-hmm.
But Ella Langley has her own tour going on at the same time. So that's why sometimes she's there, sometimes she's not there. So it's just interesting.
Absolutely. I love concerts. I remember my first one. I was 14, the summer of 1984. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band and the Soldier Field. The sun went down. He played for 4 hours.
That is a really good opener.
It was
first concert.
unbelievable, and it was my friend Brendan and I. It was a general admission on the field.
Okay.
You had to run for your spot, and we probably got like 50 yards from the stage, and he was absolutely incredible. We didn't care about his politics back then, nor do I today, but I loved his music. There's no question. But yeah, it was great. The sun going down, and then he played at night, and it was. I can remember the river just being unbelievable. He put out the harmonica. It was just, those kind of, you remember that stuff forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like concerts, even if they're not that great, you remember. I remember seeing Ozzy at the Coliseum, and I remember coming home and being like, it was a little weird. He was a little strange. I don't know. He sounded fine, but I was a little weirded out by the whole thing.
I understand. I've been to see, like, one time John Mellencamp, and he performed all of his old, like, new stuff, none of his old stuff, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
But it's still an experience.
Of course. Yeah. You always, I don't know. The good ones, though, they stay with you forever.
Yeah.
They really do.
My first one ever was at Met Park back when they used to have those free concerts.
yeah,
and
yeah,
I was in
I
high
remember
school
those.
and saw the Beach Boys, and then
really?
Steve Miller Band
Oh,
came for free. It was great.
I love it.
I love free concerts too because
Mhm.
it allows people that may not be able to afford to take their full family, like they can go sit on the blankets and the lawn, like you said, lawn seating, and then just go have fun.
We need to do a little festival in Neptune Beach, man.
Yeah.
Jarbo Park, get a few bands.
Seawalk Pavilion typically will have stuff. I know you've been to ones there.
Absolutely.
They had Luke Combs for free in 2017, I think it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right before, like, I think Hurricane had come out, but like nothing
Okay.
else. He was obviously on the
Yeah,
up and
yeah,
up
so
there.
cool.
All right, time now for Tom's takes.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial pound law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this beautiful Friday morning, brought to our friends at Morgan & Morgan, is look, this time of year is a lot of fun with the schedule coming out, and then you get to trying to predict what they're going to do and how you feel about the team and whatnot. And regardless, look, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want them to win. We want them to get to those playoffs and get it done. I really like my 11-6 model, to be honest with you. It's quite brilliant, and the reason being is we don't win the division. So we know we're a good team because we got 11 wins. We don't win the division, but that's okay because we're going to play on the road anyway. And we're going to be a road warrior type team. And it's going to fit right into the no respect, and nobody cares about us.
Duval versus all y'all.
Yeah, Duval versus all y'all. It's going to be great. And although I have them early on, one loss, what does that mean? They're figuring it out. It's like a computer, eventually they'll figure it out. But in the initial stages, they're like, wait, this, okay, wait, it's coming together. And then they're going to hit their stride, and they're going to be a really good football team. I don't know how good at the end, but I think towards the end. Now, look, this all depends on what? Health. You got to stay healthy. We were relatively healthy last year. You know what I mean? Especially at the QB position, which we need. So you got to stay healthy. But if we can do that, I think we're going to be a formidable team. But I do think it's going to take a minute. I don't think we just hit the ground running. Just because it's year 2 doesn't mean it's all going to be simple and flowing. It could be, but I think it's going to take a few minutes to get it going. And once they do, they're going to be a really tough out. And that's my take, brought to our friends at Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, and on your cell at Pound Law. That's all.
All right, let's knock out the next 2 games. Home against the Colts, dub. We're just going to both say dub.
Dub.
I mean,
easy dub. I might not even show up kind of dub. Indy sucks at our place.
Last year you went and it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, and remember that guy was there? I told you his guy's friend. He'd been coming every year. They were losing 10 years in a row. Just unbelievable.
It's write that one down. You can guarantee it. Maybe not guarantee, but you know what I mean. And then at the Ravens Thursday Night Football, I've got that one as a loss.
Yeah, me too.
I do think Lamar Jackson will bounce back. The Ravens as a whole are incredibly talented. Derrick Henry playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars is always really, really good.
Yep.
So I've got that one as a loss.
I do too. I mean, look, they almost made the playoffs last year. They missed it on the kick, obviously. They were injured. Lamar was injured a little bit, so healthy again comes down to health and playing well. But they should be right there. I think
new coach.
Yeah, new coach, new blood. New fire maybe. Listen, I think I think. The Ravens will be back. The Chiefs will be back in contention.
Bengals
maybe. They're more of a maybe for me because you just never know. But those other two, I think, the Bills are going to be tough. I don't think New England's going to be as tough, but I still think they're going to be pretty tough. I think their defense is tough. And look, Drake May it should only get better. He should learn from last year. Maybe the left tackle gets better. Maybe he has more time to, you know what I mean? Like maybe they figure it out. Maybe they get A.J. Brown in the trade. You know, that would help them for a deep threat down the field. So we'll see. But I think the AFC is going to be, if they're all full strength, I'm thinking about what was out last year. Those three big teams, you know, now Cincy again being the third, but still, if they're healthy and playing well, it's going to be a competitive AFC.
Well, especially, too, because the Texans also, right?
Texans are going to be tough, I think.
What if the Raiders all of a sudden are a team that if Fernando Mendoza is really good, right? Like, there's just so many things when you look around.
San Diego could be back. They get their tackles back.
Los Angeles, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the Chargers, yeah. Yeah, they could be, I mean, maybe not winning the division, but vying for that wild card spot all day long.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, more to do on the other side, including Lawrence Lane, and we'll continue going through the schedule. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 108th PGA Championship, sponsored by Sleep Number. It's the Everything on Sale Memorial Day event from Sleep Number. Every bed and base is on sale now. Warming up just a bit here at Aronimink, but the wind is still whipping. And two of the biggest needle movers in golf are just trying to make the cut. Back-to-back Masters champion Rory McIlroy with a birdie at 2. He's now 3 over, just inside the projected cut line. Bryson DeChambeau with 3 straight pars to begin his second round. He is 6 over and has to start moving soon. The lead is 4 under, shared by Aldrich Potgieter and Alex Smalley. Potgieter 1 under today through 8, no blemishes on the card. Smalley fired a 1 under 69 and finished with a birdie at 9. Scotty Scheffler also birdied the 9th to wrap up his day. He's 2 under, 2 back, and really not bad after starting with 3 bogeys in the first 4 holes. Cameron Young eagled the 9th to move to 2 under. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
This is Lauren Brooks, and I love our organized closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, storage for every space and budget. Make an appointment today to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or visit them online, closetsbydesign.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates
Friday.
Imagine this. You've got the burgers ready in a backyard full of guests. And folks, that's a strong lineup. But a clogged drain on a holiday, that can change everything in a hurry. Before kickoff, make sure your plumbing is ready to go. Call Duck Duck Rooter. They've got experience, honest pricing, and a team you can count on. And right now, get your main sewer line cleaned, plus a camera inspection for just $129. Outside cleanout is required because the only thing you want overflowing this weekend is that cooler. But when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Big personalities, Bold opinions, lunch just got louder. Josie, Matt, and Leon are XL Prime Time from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Any questions? Yeah, what's lunch?
Noon to 2 on 1010 XL.
Bring your home back to life with Zero Res, a fresher clean that you can actually feel. This month, take 25% off all services, hardwood tile, LVP, carpet, air ducts, and more. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia from Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, his adorable chessman sidekick.
There are two things you want to ask when getting a custom polymer garage floor coating. Will it be done right, and will it be priced right?
And just how charming is their mascot?
No. At Checkmate, our small specialized install teams follow a strict 29-point installation checklist
to ensure the highest quality results at a price you can afford.
A Checkmate polyaspartic floor can be customized in dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear your shoes in the garage to avoid tracking dirt back into the house.
The quality you expect?
Check. A price that might surprise you.
Check. A floor you just can't wait to show your friends? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Parents, now is the time to sign up your kids for the best all-sports camp in the 904. Tommy Houlihan's all-sports camp at St. Paul's Gym in Jacksonville Beach. All sports camps ages are kindergarten through 6th grade. All day, Monday through Friday, with extended hours also available. Keep your kids active this summer with Tommy Houlihan Sports Camp in Jacksonville Beach. Online at TommyHoulihanBasketball.com. Tommy, Hulihan basketball.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The Jaguars have officially released their schedule. They will open the season at home for the 2nd year in a row with a visit from the Browns. The Jags are 16-15 in season openers, including a 9-7 record at home. The Jaguars own a plus 118-point margin against the Browns, their highest against any opponent. 81 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time in 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
We have the final word on, was Trevor Lawrence really getting a haircut or was it a wig? The Jaguars just posted a video, no need to wig out, and it's behind the scenes of the schedule release video. Yes, it was a wig. No, it was not Trevor's real hair. And so there you have it.
You know, Trev, sometimes you can say no. You want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. But
He said that Marissa has seen him with short hair. She doesn't like it. And so, no, he was never going to cut it. But my guess is that the Jaguars social media team went to Trevor and said, this is our idea. We'd love you to be a part of it, to go along with it. And so he said, sure, because he's a team player, Tom.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a wig and everyone can relax.
Nice ploy.
It was obviously a fake picture of him with the hat on at practice and the short hair.
That AI, I'm assuming, he just created with that kind of stuff.
Lots
You create anything.
Computer-generated images have been around, or imaging has been around for a long time. But yeah, so there it is.
It worked. So congratulations on having it work.
It got a lot of attention.
Now release the schedule again so people can remember what the actual games are.
That's why we're going through it game by game. And yeah, it's been fun to do so. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Tom, I've got a shout out to one Becky Nimnicht. Nimnicht.
Yeah.
Because she is competing in the Ironman tomorrow in Jacksonville, FLA, where she will swim alongside all the other Ironman competitors. They will swim around downtown Jax for a couple miles. They'll bike to Nocatee for a couple laps, bike on back, and then run a marathon. So simple as that.
How are they? They got to. I guess they got to swim with the current. Because there's a big current downtown in the river, right?
I'm hoping they're swimming with the current, not against it.
Would have to be, right?
We'll find out after the Ironman when we talk.
Maybe someone on the text line knows. Or if you do it near Doctor's Lake, it's a little calmer, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a big river guy, you know.
Yeah,
there's still big things
I've
in there.
swum in the Intercoastal. I don't know that I've ever swum actually in the river. But
no, right. The Intercoastal down off Roscoe.
And I guess I have
that,
in the river, like at Fort George. That's still technically the river.
Kind of, yeah.
It's mixed. But either way, shout out to her and all the participants in the Ironman. Good luck tomorrow.
Just keep
the best
running, biking, and swimming.
There you go.
There you go.
College baseball, congrats to UNF. The UNF Ospreys are Graphite Division champions for the first time in program history. Now, I think that's partially because the Graphite and Gold divisions are very new in the ASUN, so it makes sense as to why it's the first time. But they did beat West Georgia 6-5 last night. First pitch is tonight, 6:05. JU did lose to FGCU 3-2, but narrowly lost. Back at it tonight at 7. The ASUN championship will feature UNF, JU, Florida Gulf Coast, and Stetson from the Graphite division, and then Central Arkansas, Lipscomb, North Alabama, and Austin P from the Gold division. Okay. Stetson was the last team to make it in to the ASUN tournament. The bracket will be released after the season ends. FSU last night was down 6-1 to Miami, but came back and won 7-6 in 11 innings.
Wow.
Yeah. Game 2 is tonight at 6, and then Florida got off to a great start last night. Had a grand slam in the first inning.
Really?
Yeah, by Ethan Serwitz.
How did all three get on? Do you know? Do you remember? Walking?
Oh, goodness. I was watching.
That's early. Like to load the bases.
Yeah. I remember more of the softball game today because I've already watched Florida play softball today. One of those guys.
Whatever. I was just curious because that's early to get a grand slam early.
It was early. Yeah,
cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But either way, Florida ended up winning 11-8. So it was a very high scoring game there in Baton Rouge. Aiden King, we talk about him all the time. 8th victory of the season. He pitched 5 1/3 innings. And then Jackson Barberi, who is a guy that has been sidelined due to injury for a while, but he throws super fast. Yep. He was able to finally pitch in relief last night, and he hit 100.
Closed it out.
Yeah, 100 miles per hour.
Did he really? Hey, is it maybe a not so smart question, but how many innings does a starting pitcher have to pitch in order to get the game?
I think
or
it's
any pitcher
5
to get the win or the loss.
To get the win, I think,
or the loss, whatever it is. 5 innings. Okay, so if the starter gets replaced after inning 2.
Yeah, at least 5 innings.
Okay, you got to have 5 innings under the belt to get the win or loss. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Well, good.
And then obviously you can hear tonight's game and tomorrow's game right here on 1010 a.m. and the AM stream. Florida again at LSU. Game 2 tonight is 7:30. Game 3 tomorrow is 3 p.m. So again, you can hear all that right here. Yep. And then college softball regionals began today. Florida beat Florida A&M 12-0 in 5 innings. So yeah, that was a tough game for Florida A&M, that's for sure. And then FSU lost to Stetson 8-3. So these are the regionals. Stetson, phenomenal job.
The smart kids. All right.
Stetson
smart, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure, I believe you.
Yeah.
And so Gainesville Regional obviously has Florida hosting, and then Tallahassee has FSU. And then the Rays, I wanted to mention this because we talk a lot of hardball around these parts. Though the Rays rank at or near the bottom of the major leagues in many modern day measures such as home runs, extra base hits, balls hit on the barrel, and average exit velocity, the Rays are still 4th in runs per game, 4.5, and 1st in wins. So even though they are, like I said, bad statistically in home runs, extra base hits, balls hit on the barrel, and average exit velocity, they're still 4th in all of Major League Baseball in runs per game, 4.5.
What was that last one? Average what in velocity?
Average exit velocity.
What does that mean?
So how fast the ball comes off the bat.
Oh, okay.
So typically home runs and average exit velocity are going to go hand in hand, obviously, because the ball is going to leave the yard if it's hit super hard, right? Yeah. So, but it's interesting because the Rays didn't necessarily plan to have the small ball type of team that they have. They just ended up, that's how it worked because of the roster. So they're obviously doing really, really, really well, even though they are not doing well statistically in some of those categories that typically you are doing better.
They're not hitting the bombs. They're hitting the base hits and moving
They're
people.
getting on base, and sometimes they bunt, absolutely.
Billy Bean ball.
Right, and so looking at it, they had 7 players last year that struck out more than 25% of the time, okay?
Whoa.
7 players last year that struck out more than 25% of the time. They only kept one of those players and shipped all the other ones off.
Wow.
So Jonathan Aranda is the only one last year that struck out. He was just over 25%. But all the other guys that were over 25%, they let move on to other teams. So I just found that really interesting, just as far as you don't have to hit the long ball to win games in Major League Baseball.
More ways to win, right? Not just
but
one way.
there was a time that's what we thought.
Yeah.
Like that's all that the game has come to is hitting bombs and a high strikeout percentage. And it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't, but that's the fun stuff to watch. Everyone likes
it's fun
a
to
big
watch stolen bases.
Stolen bases are fun. I agree.
And it's fun to watch.
A pitcher rocking when he's going, like he's got a great game going, strikeouts, that kind of stuff.
But even like sacrifice bunt, like to me, I think that's exciting.
A sacrifice bunt is exciting.
Yeah, as long as you're driving runs in.
Oh, the run's coming in then.
Right. That's
what the sacrifice part of it is, right?
I'm bringing him along slowly, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
I remember these terms from my childhood. I've suppressed them for many, many decades. But I'm bringing them back.
All right, back to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We go on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
Okay, excellent show, everyone.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Bowden Iron Associates, Helmets and Heels Friday.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Get geared up for your golf weekend with Dan, Jeff, and PGA pros on Brunch with the Tour.
Expect anything different?
Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by North Florida Medical Centers and Clearwater Irrigation on 1010XL.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
The 2026 schedule is here, and Jaguars football is officially back at the bank. With limited capacity this season, it's more important than ever to show up loud and create the ultimate home field advantage. From our biggest rivalries to can't-miss matchups, this is a season you won't want to miss. Single game tickets are on sale, and now's the time to lock in your seats for the games that matter most. Inventory is limited, and tickets are expected to go fast. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Since 1928, people have admired diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs that we've hand-selected and put together because of the way they sparkle on a lady's neck or ear. And now, through May 31st, Underwoods is putting all of our diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs on sale at 15% below our everyday price. We also take trade-ins on these pieces of jewelry, so if you're thinking about growing a diamond solitaire necklace or a pair of diamond studs up to a larger size, it's an ideal time to come see us. To give an example, we normally sell our 1-carat total weight diamond stud earrings for $3,150, but right now they're on sale for $2,677.50. Our diamond solitaire necklaces are priced the same way, with sizes from 1/5 carat total weight up to 7 carats total weight. So if you need a gift that says forever, make it an Underwood diamond solitaire necklace or a pair of diamond stud earrings at Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops at Ponte Vedra.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to tell you guys about Lift Power. Lift Power, a Jacksonville-based business, been around for more than 50 years, family-owned and operated, and always on the lookout for good folks, experienced lift truck and dock and door technicians. The benefits out of this world: 401k, company vehicle, paid training, sign-on bonus. Offered so great. Come see why Lift Power has been voted one of the best places to work for the past several years as well. We want you to be a part of the family. Don't let this opportunity slip by. To learn more, all you got to do is go to liftpower.com. Check them out at liftpower.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
I ain't saying that I always sleep alone. I ain't saying that I ain't met no one else. Done a little bit of midnight moving on. And I ain't saying when I do that it don't help. Leave for someone I don't know her name. Pull her real close.
Well, thousands of people tonight, I imagine, will be singing this song
Yeah.
with Morgan Wallen plays this one. Great job, RJ Saunders.
Yeah, good one.
This one's called Just In Case, and it's a great song. I remember when it came out, listening to it for the first time and being like, oh, I love this one.
Yeah, yeah. I like the one, I Had Some Help.
Yeah,
I like
with Post
that.
Malone.
Yeah, with Post. That's a good one.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is a good one. I love the songs that have those kind of, not hidden meanings, because obviously if you listen to the lyrics, it's not hidden,
Yeah.
but just those lyrics that are telling a story for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, story time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at concerts in between when they tell like little tidbits of how the song came together and then they sing it. You're like, oh, man, so cool.
It is funny. Some people love when the artist speaks at a concert. Some people would be fine if the artist didn't speak at all, other than to be like, hey, Gainesville, or hey, Jacksonville, and then
Yeah,
go right
they
into
go.
songs. It is
Yeah.
interesting how it's different.
Yeah, I wouldn't ramble on too long, but a little couple words here and there. I don't know. But it's all the music.
That's
it's all
right.
in the music.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dahl on vacation. She'll be back with us next week. All right, we have gotten to the point of the Jacksonville Jaguars playing on Thursday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. To this point, Tom, I have the Jaguars at 5-3. 5-3. And you have?
4-4.
4-4. Okay.
Yep.
We're moving on to what I think is probably the easiest stretch, and that would be Titans, Giants, Titans there in November. I've got the Jags winning all three of those. At the Titans, so in Nashville, then at New York,
Okay.
the Giants, and then home against the Titans.
I think those 3 games you can throw in the next 7-8 games. Very physical football games, I think. Look, I'm not a big believer in Jackson Dart, but I know Harbaugh's going to play some bully ball. He's going to be physical. Tennessee is always physical. I think we split. I don't think we're going to sweep Tennessee.
Okay.
I have a sweep in Indy, but not Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's going to be that good.
But they did add a lot.
They'll play us tough.
Yeah.
And
they
they've
the
added
guy,
enough.
The one that you and I wanted, John Franklin Myers
No
from
doubt.
Denver.
Absolutely. And it comes down to Cam Ward. Can
Sure.
Cam get any better? Like he was getting better towards the end of the last season. But we should look. I don't want to say easily sweep them because it's not easy, but that could be a 2-0. But I think we split. I think, especially after those 2 physical games, sometimes you just have one of those games that it just doesn't work out. I feel like that could be one of those games. By the way, all my losses, it's not that they're better. It's that there's reasons for it. Like what could, like week 2, like are they going to come out blazing saddles, just everything rocking, everything on time? I don't know. I don't feel like it is. Maybe it could be. And I think the Broncos are going to have that revenge in their head. And just like we did when in 18, when New England came here, they beat us in the championship game, and we beat them in week 3. We thought we were on our way. That was like the Super Bowl. That was unbelievable. That whole week leading up to it, and then we beat them against Brady. All that stuff, like that was massive. So anyway, that's kind of how I feel about Denver in the second game.
Well, then that means that the Broncos have a terrible rest of their season because the Jaguars fell apart in 2018 after beating the Patriots.
They sure did.
In week 3. All right, after those 3 games, we are at the Chicago Bears. That is a December 6th tilt, so certainly could be a snowy game up there in Chicago, kicking off at 1 o'clock. I've got this as a win, but this is one that is tough as far as I went back and forth because both teams had, I think, very similar seasons last year. Both have young offensive-minded head coaches. Both have quarterbacks that I think have finally reached some. Maybe Caleb Williams hasn't reached his potential. Trevor has reached his potential, but yeah, he certainly played really well last season, and they've got some weapons just like the Jaguars do. But I do have the Jaguars winning that game.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
You know, Bears my number 2 team. Growing up watching them, but I think we go up there and take care of them. I think that Tennessee loss. By the way, through my losses, a win comes after every loss.
Okay.
So they learn their lesson. It's like we learned our lesson kind of thing. We can't take anybody lightly. We got to play full speed. Let's go up to Chicago and get back on the winning track.
The only time I have the Jaguars losing back-to-back games is early on at the Bengals and then in London against the Eagles.
Mhm.
After that, I do have them bouncing back, to your point.
Yep.
And then the Pittsburgh Steelers Monday Night Football, that'll certainly be a raucous crowd here in Jacksonville of 42,000 with maybe a lot of people outside the stadium that can't quite get in. But I've got the Jags winning that one, too. At some point in time, the Steelers have stopped scaring me, right? Like it used to be a team that was formidable, and I don't know that they have that anymore. And it's not just the Aaron Rodgers part of things. They've lost kind of their luster to me.
I got a dub, too,
Heck
all
yeah.
day long. I think they'll always be a physical team, but I agree with you. And by the way, we would always split with them in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
They'd win one, we'd win one. It was never a sweep. Obviously, we took away the division title from them in 1998 and 99. But I agree with you. They're not the old bully Pittsburgh Steelers, but they are good. They're not a pushover by any means, but I got us winning on Monday Night Football at home.
Jacksonville loves a Monday Night Football game around these parts. At the Texans, I have as a loss coming December 20th. Again, super physical game, and it's hard to win. At that point, they would be winning 6 games in a row leading into that, or I've got 5 games in a row, so that would be a 6th win in a row. So I'm going to go loss there.
I think they're getting hot. This is the way I think they go to Houston and beat the Texans. They lose earlier in the year in London to them, and I think that spurs them to go out there and take care of business. Look, I think they're going to be neck and neck for the division title again, just like last year. I think it's going to be like that this year, but I got us going out there that weekend and taking care of business. That's a dub for me.
All right, and then we go to Dallas. Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. I've got that as a dub, mainly because I do think Trevor Lawrence is better than Dak Prescott.
I got it as a dub, too. Like you said with Pittsburgh, I feel the same about Dallas. Their luster's, it's okay. You know, they're not the big D anymore. They're not America's team anymore. Nobody really cares too much about them. Their defense hasn't been very good. We'll see if they've improved on that side of the ball. I like Dak Prescott a lot, but to me, he's more of just a fantasy football player. He's great for stats, but now when the game's on the line, I got us going out there and getting a W.
All right, and then finally, home against the Commanders at the Indianapolis Colts. I didn't want to be the Pollyanna 13-4 person, so I've got the Jags at 12-5. So I've got a loss against the Commanders. I do think Jaden Daniels will have a bounce-back season, and then I've got the win at Indy, like you said, sweeping Indianapolis. So in totality, or in summation, depending on which way you want to go, I've got 12-5.
Do they win the division winning 12-5?
Yes.
They do.
I do have them winning.
Okay, so the Texans are 11-6 maybe?
6,
Okay,
yeah.
I got it flipped, basically.
Okay.
I do have them losing to Washington. I feel like they're just, they're worn out. They've won, let's see, 5. A lot. 6 out of 7, 4 in a row. I think it's a close game. I do think Washington will bounce back a little bit this year. I don't know how strong like they were 2 years ago, but I have that loss, and then we'll beat Indy at home. That's like put two U's together. You know what I mean?
Right, but unless that's like all right, we can rest the starters because the division is already won and things like that, which I don't think so.
I don't think that's in Liam's DNA. You know what I mean? I think it's like, no, we got to be ready. We got to be, especially because of how they lost against Buffalo. They did things they weren't normally doing. You know what I mean? Like the turnovers, like the defense, just letting them go down the field, like different things not happening for them, right? So I think he's going to take that in mind and be like, may not play the whole game, but we're going to make sure the game's secured, and then we'll let our backups in.
Sounds good. All right. We've got some comments off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010 if you want to get in. And one person said, or actually a couple people have said, they think Trevor Lawrence is better than Lamar Jackson. What say you?
I don't know. I think it's a pretty close one. And look, Lamar, when healthy, he's one of the best, I think, in the National Football League. I mean, he's been an MVP multiple times. I think last year, he was banged up a little bit. I think, overall, I think he missed like 3, 4. How many games did he miss? I want to say he missed 3 or 4 games last year. But when he's healthy, I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the game. I think Trevor's great. Here's the thing about Trev, though. Okay, listen, let's put it on the table. He was great last year for what? 10 out of 17 games, maybe? Maybe more. I'm giving him the 8-game stretch.
He missed 4 games last year.
4 games, yeah. That's hard. We've seen that with Trev. When he's hurt, we're a different football team. So I think they are as well. But, look, Kansas City was good. San Fran was good for Trevor. Maybe a game or 2 in that first 6 and then the 8, so it took him a minute, but will he duplicate that? I like to think he would because of the way Liam Cohen has taught him to read a defense pre-snap. And I think that's really more than half the battle. And it's amazing that these quarterbacks weren't taught earlier than week or year 5.
Yeah.
I think the same, look, it's a copycat league. What do you think Houston's doing? How did Trevor get better? Well, let's try to see if we can implement into, CJ's game.
Surprised they didn't try and hire Grant Udinski.
Who knows? But seriously, they're going to look at that and they'll be like, oh, how did he, well, this is how he got better. Started with his footwork, got the pre-snap reads down. Let's help him with that. And then it comes.
But just because you know what Trevor did in order to get better, and this isn't necessarily just a Trevor Lawrence conversation. It can be in any quarterback that's made great strides conversation. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson once upon a time, right? Just because you know how he got better doesn't mean that you can duplicate that with your quarterback.
No, but if your quarterback has the physical tools like C.J. Stroud does, he's got plenty of good tools, and if he can put the mental game together, your thinking is, no, he's going to be better. We're going to make him better.
But that's the part, I suppose, that I'm not pushing back against you, but saying
it's good.
To these other people is you can't really, you can work on the mental processing side of things, but you really can't simulate it until the game starts.
Okay. So processing to me is going from 1 to 2 to 3.
The reads, right.
I think it comes way before that. I think that's what made Trevor better. It's the pre-snap. Right. What are they in? What man zone? Let's find out by the motion. Now I got an idea where I'm going. We talked about the beaters, right? With zone, man, what have you. I got a rub situation over here. If they're in man, I can maybe work it out there. Just knowing those kind of things pre-snap. And you could tell that he did because he got better with where he was putting the football. A lot of things change in his game. Think about I know a lot, and rightfully so, the receivers not making the throws over the middle. But that changed. He started throwing it sooner. He started throwing it before they broke. And remember what I said about Mike Daniels, what he said about Herbert. He's like, these big guys, they think, we just wait till they're open because my arm's so strong, I'm just going to get it there. Nobody's going to get in the way. Guess what? That's not real because defenses are so fast, and the minute you wait is a minute too long.
So you can teach the pre-snap stuff, but you can't necessarily teach the decision-making side of things. As far as you can't simulate that. The closest you can come, obviously, is in practice. But, the quarterbacks have their non-contact pennies on for most of training camp.
Look, I think CJ's a tough guy. I don't think he's not a tough guy. I think what my opinion from the outside is he got his head in the clouds a little bit. Had a big rookie year, started calling himself a top 5 QB.
Read his own press clippings.
That kind of stuff. And maybe he didn't prepare as hard. Maybe he didn't put in the work. It sounds like he is now, but whatever. But my point is they have to be thinking, well, if the Jags did it with Trev, we should be able to do it with CJ.
Sure.
Maybe not tit for tat, but let's figure out how we can make him better. So in that respect, if he's better, they're going to be a really tough. They're going to be a tough team.
Yeah.
We're going to be a tough team. It's going to be a clash of not Titans because it's the Texans, but it's going to be an unbelievable battle. That's why I don't want it in London. Right. I want it here. I want that home game here. I don't want it over in London.
I think you also look at the case study of Sam Darnold. That's a quarterback that we were making fun of as far as seeing ghosts, right? That was eerily reminiscent of kind of like Blaine Gabbert, right? A guy that was so afraid of the pressure that then even when there wasn't pressure, still had happy feet, left the pocket, things like that.
Yeah.
But at some point in time was able to figure it out. So like because that's what scares me. If CJ Stroud, to your point, figures it out, don't you think the Texans are really close to a Seahawks team, like talent-wise?
Defensively, for sure. We'll see about the running game. The running game really came on for them at the end with Walker the third.
Right, but if Montgomery
is
good this season, like that to me is a really scary idea. And that's why, like we talked about, Louis Riddick is going to say, oh, well, the Texans could run away with the division. I understand that. But how cool is it that we, in May of 2026, are saying that people believe that Trevor Lawrence is better than Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. Great.
We have come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And last year, he proved a lot. Listen, Trevor, look, he can be even better quarterback. And I think he will. I mean, the one thing, I've always said this about him, his demeanor is perfect for the quarterback. As a leader, as a QB, as a representative. I mean, think about how young he was and just going up to the podium after the Urban Meyer, during it, after it, the games.
100%.
Doug, and then not playing well, then getting hurt, but he always was the same. He never lost his cool, lost his composure.
Never threw anyone under the bus.
No. So to me, that's like the ultimate guy you want on your team. As far as just a person and type of guy, teammate, if you will. And then the football side really came together. And what was frustrating, I'm sure it had to be frustrating for him, is like, he would make some unbelievable throws, and you just be like, what? Like, remember, like the Miami throw, the first game of the year was to Brian Thomas. Remember, he threw it Thomas is running the back. It was down in Miami, but it was the first touchdown. And he lofted it over everybody, right? And he wasn't there yet, so it was like timing.
That's the ETN fumble.
The ETN fumble, the next scoring drive, going down the field, and then we should have never lost that game, but we did.
But last year you can go and look at Trevor's highlights and be wowed.
Definitely.
Unbelievably wowed.
And then he got more consistent. That's what happened. He just got more consistent, and he needs to be even more consistent. What does that mean? More accurate, more throwing on time, more getting in that flow, man, because he really got into the flow the last 8 weeks.
And my issue is always the situational awareness, because it feels like that means that you're not watching enough football, even when you're not playing, your nose isn't in the playbook, things like that. But you also have to be watching NFL games, right? On your downtime to understand what really good quarterbacks are doing in certain moments, right? Yeah. When the clock is winding down or right before the half, things like that.
We saw that Baltimore the 1 year before the half, right? He hit the slant, or not. He missed the slant. Went outside and never got there. Yeah.
Yeah. Some other penalties that come with stuff like that, right? And so intentional grounding, there was
going over the line of scrimmage.
Correct. There's a lot there. And so that to me was always like, all right, that means that you're not maybe watching enough football when you're not playing football. But we saw that improve last year too.
Okay, so there's a thing that we all agree on is attention to detail. Mm-hmm. If nobody teaches you the attention to detail, you're not going to have it. Like Coughlin, and a lot of coaches, it's that attention. Liam, it's attention to detail, man. You have to know. So if you know pre-snap, you should know situational. You know what I mean? So it kind of is connected. So you could see where, why would that be better? Well, it's better because he learned more about everything else too.
Yeah,
and
it all goes
together.
Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely.
All right, a PGA Championship update coming your way. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010 XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 108th PGA Championship. USPS Ground Advantage. They mean business. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. Aronimink is taking no prisoners. World number one Scotty Scheffler signed for a 1/71, and he made a bold declaration about the setup after his second round.
This is the hardest set of pin locations that I've seen since I've been on tour, and that includes U.S. Opens, that includes Oakmont. It's just very difficult. It's difficult to get the ball close to the hole. It's difficult to hold putts, especially when you have big slopes and wind. And I think that's why you see the scores, so close to par.
The Donald Ross designed green complexes really are no joke. Scheffler is 2 under for the week, 3 off the lead. Aldrich Potgieter on top at 5 under. The 21-year-old is 2 under today through 10. There are a few low scores out there, just not many. Chris Gotterup shot the round of the week, a 5 under 65. He is 3 under and 2 back. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
At Century, understanding starts with taking a seat, talking face-to-face, getting to know your business firsthand, diving into details, seeing risk from every angle, becoming experts in your business, and crafting coverage that really makes a difference. So save us a seat. We've got work to do. Property and casualty coverages are underwritten by a member of the Century Insurance Group, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. For a complete listing of companies, visit Century.com. Policies, coverages, benefits, and discounts are not available in all states. See policy for complete coverage details.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnik forever, and they really are that good. You know, for 3 generations, Nimnik's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Daly's, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Daly's, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Daly's. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
The Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach is better than ever. Come experience our new renovated spaces, including an expanded wellness center with upgraded state-of-the-art equipment, recovery solutions, brand new locker rooms, and the Horsell Center for Health and Well-Being, all designed to help you feel your best. And now you can join with no joining fee. Plus, enjoy your 4th month free. There's no place like this place. And you'll love what's new. Visit the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach.
It's golfing season, man. When it comes to Live Forever Golf, it's Live Forever together forever with me. The fit's absolutely fantastic. So comfortable. And I say this coming from a guy who has been 40 years buying golf apparel. Everything from polos to shorts, belts, hats, any accessory. When you go to liveforevergolf.com, you're going to see the new drops. You're going to see the deals. You're going to see all the advantages. Join the liveforevergolf.com nation. Shop today at liveforevergolf.com.
It's the big reveal. Listen all day for 1010XL's thoughts on the Jags' potential wins and losses this season. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Septic Plumbing and Air Conditioning and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hey there, poker players. The Poker Atlas Tour is bringing 7 action-packed poker events to Best Bet St. Augustine from June 18th to the 28th, including the $600 no-limit hold'em title event with a $200,000 guarantee. Plus, don't miss Event 1, a $300 no-limit hold'em tournament featuring a $100,000 guarantee. Satellites are happening now at Best Bet St. Augustine. Visit bestbetjacks.com for tournament structures and all the details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
I'm going to go with the golden moment of the fact that we have the schedule. It is official. We don't have to talk about leaks and rumors and things like that. And also that Trevor didn't get the haircut.
Yeah,
It's,
how about that?
In case you missed it, yes, the schedule release video featured a Trevor Lawrence interesting haircut. I think that's probably how people were clued in right away that it was a wig.
It was kind of goofy.
Because the haircut itself was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
He could cut his hair and it would still look fine. But and also, thanks to the Jags for putting out the video, Trevor talked about the fact that he hasn't played in Baltimore or Chicago yet.
Oh, good.
Which we knew if we thought about it, that it's new for him. And so, yeah, that will be cool.
I'm not, people bring up December. I think it's early December, Chicago. Could there be weather? Yeah, but it depends. It's not going to be freezing. It shouldn't be freezing cold. That's normally like January, February, where it's like, because a lot of times if it snows, it's 32 degrees. It's not freezing.
Right.
I mean, it's freezing, technically.
Technically.
But you can run around in that. And when it gets down below in 20s, 10s, below 0, that's when it affects the football game.
What was the coldest game you ever had to play in?
Probably when I grew up. Yeah. Like playing for St. Mary's of Buffalo Grove. I swear we were at negative 20 or something.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be freezing. And I guess that was, November, December. So maybe I'm wrong. It could be that cold, but
it certainly could be.
Yeah. But I'm not, listen, you just go, as long as it's not icy and not so cold that, you just can't, you can't feel your fingers kind of thing, then you can play in anything. I'd rather play in snow than rain. Yeah. Rain gets you all like heavy.
Right.
Everything gets wet and soggy and heavy, and even your shoes feel heavy. You know what I mean? So I'd rather play in a little snow than any kind of rain.
The worst game I ever played, it was high school, and it was like right above 32 degrees, but it was raining.
Yeah.
And, when you play soccer, if that ball hits you when it's that cold,
especially in the head.
Oh, yeah.
Give you a concussion.
Or really anywhere, but head could certainly give a concussion.
Yep.
But it was miserable.
Yeah.
And then at halftime, the parents of our school, they were so mad of our team because the other team got to go in the locker room at halftime, and they left us outside, and we just had a tarp over us.
Oh, jeez.
And
that's when you get cold. When you're running around, it's not like when we played the Pats in the championship game up there, it was like 25 degrees.
Okay.
It was cold, and it had snow on the ground. It snowed before. And it was pretty cold. But when you're out there running, you don't feel it. I mean, you feel it when you fall on the ground because the grass turns to like, cement.
Yeah.
Not cement, but hard, like type surface. But other than that, I mean, you can run for days in that stuff.
What would you rather? You like just the way your body is, 25 degrees with snow on the ground, like you just talked about, or the 90 degrees, 90 plus degrees?
I like the heat.
The heat, okay.
But I'm now used to the heat. I wasn't always used to the heat. I even when I do stuff now, I go in the hottest part of the day. I don't know why. It's just more challenging. So no, I think if you can look, put it to this way, I'd rather be hot than cold. And you can get acclimated to the heat more than you can the cold. I don't care how many times. Growing up in Chicago, going to school in Boston, it was still cold. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm used to it. No big deal. Been through this before. No, you're like, oh, my gosh, it's freezing. Holy cow. But the heat, you can get accustomed to the heat. You can prepare for the heat. You got to take some heavy precautions from time to time. That sun will beat you down. There's no doubt. But I think you can prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, drink electrolytes in advance, pre-hydrate, all
salt
those
tablets.
things.
Just throw them in.
There you go.
That's what we did as kids. I remember my mom just giving us 2 salt tablets and a little bit of water, and that's what we had before practice.
And then you didn't lose as much water weight?
Yeah, it kept you hydrated, and you didn't cramp up. It helped all that kind of stuff. So you drank water with it, but way back when, it wasn't like water today. Like, you got to take water breaks.
Yeah.
You're like, what? You actually take time out to have like a water break? Yeah. You do.
We did that in club soccer. I feel like it was only one game or maybe one tournament that they had us take water breaks. But normally no.
Okay, let me ask you a question. All right, I'm going totally back to the schedule. Yeah. Okay, so they win the division in your world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how far do they go in the play? It's not fair because we don't know who else is in there.
Yeah.
But just what's your gut tell you? Think they get past the first round this year?
That's what I'd land on is get past the first round, and then it's anybody's game. Like we saw a year ago with the postseason. You never expect a quarterback to get injured before an AFC championship game, but we certainly saw that with Bo Nix.
With Bo Nix, yeah.
But yeah, I would say, and I probably look at it, Tom, more as like what I think is going to happen is also influenced by what I want to happen, right?
Okay.
Like I went through this year's schedule and certainly had way more wins than losses, even though it's a tougher schedule, I feel like, than last year.
Like maybe a win or two could have been a loss, but maybe because your love for the team brought it over. That's fair. At least you're honest about it. Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
I'm more like 11-6, get on a run, get hot, get to the AFC Championship game, and let's see what happens. I don't know who they're going to be playing, so I can't say they're going to win it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that could be the run.
I feel like if the Jaguars, let's say, make it to the AFC Championship game, win or lose, but if that happens, the off-season excitement, regardless of playing in Orlando and things like that, but having back-to-back winning seasons, back-to-back.
Haven't had that in a long time.
Have not had that since the turn of the century.
Well, I think Del Rio had a couple.
Yeah, maybe
07, 08. Yeah, or 06, 07, something like that.
But still almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
For sure. All right, one segment to go before we turn it over to the lead. The lead debuts today with Hayes Carlin and Ryan O'Halloran. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL, 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Imagine this. You and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
Hey, Tommy Mack here for Duval Glass. When it comes to flawless, you don't want average. You want flawless glass. Duval Glass and Mirror has been transforming homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. You got decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to our Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. Only one name around here for glass and mirror, and it's Duval.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Fountain Iron Associates
Friday.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust, because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly, and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia from Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, his adorable chessman sidekick.
There are two things you want to ask when getting a custom polymer garage floor coating. Will it be done right, and will it be priced right?
And just how charming is their mascot?
No. At Checkmate, our small specialized install teams follow a strict 29-point installation checklist
to ensure the highest quality results at a price you can afford.
A Checkmate polyaspartic floor can be customized in dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear your shoes in the garage to avoid tracking dirt back into the house.
The quality you expect?
Check. A price that might surprise you.
Check. A floor you just can't wait to show your friends? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Comic Minutes, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dahl on vacation this week. She'll be back with us next week. But we have not the wig reveal like last night, but we have the big reveal right now. Let's say hello to the lead.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hey, so excited for the first edition of the lead.
Yeah,
today.
thank you so much. We're really excited. Appreciate Steve Griffin, and certainly hope Frank's having a wonderful first Friday off, and I'm sure he is. So yeah, we're really excited about Ryan O'Halloran will be with me, and we're really looking forward to it. Like, lots to get into with the Jaguars. We'll talk some Gators, some Knowles. Mark Long will join us from the AP, who obviously covers the Gators and Jags, and Kai Stevens is going to join us from Jaguars.com. We'll get her thoughts on the schedule, and she can tell us what's going on with the Jaguars on Jaguars.com. So
love it.
Lots to get to.
You and Ryan, same page as how you looking for the Jags to do this year? Close, or what's the?
We're pretty close. Yeah. I mean, I usually he's a little. It's funny because I'll be like now more good cop than bad cop. But
before you were more bad cop than good cop.
Yeah.
Of
so
course.
I mean, I think it's usually it'll be like Ryan may be a little bit more cynical about something than I am, but we're normally we kind of see the game the same way. So, but yeah, I mean, look, it's a hard schedule, but I think they've got a really balanced roster.
I was saying to Dempsey earlier, you and Ryan are two of the last true journalists in sports.
Thanks.
It feels like.
Yeah, Ryan definitely is. I'm sort of cashed out of that. But I really enjoyed it.
You're involved a lot.
Yeah,
man. You're
well,
down there a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, Ryan is. He's working on this Nate Borkircher story where he's talking to all of his family members, former coaches. That'll be out in a week. So yeah, that'll be really cool to read that. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Ryan and I have been friends for a long time. We started covering the Jaguars together in 2013 when I worked for the Times Union. So yeah, we go back a long time. So it should be a lot of fun. And yeah, appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, same.
Let's hope that 2026 is way better than 2013.
Yes.
Yeah, no
absolutely.
We don't want to go backwards.
No, we do not. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Hayes. Certainly we will be listening to the first edition. Before we get out of here, got to bring you today's Pest of the Day, as always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. They do a fabulous job taking care of VyStar Ballpark, VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town, as well as at our house. But Tom, the Pest of the Day today is going to be the fact that the Jaguars schedule release video was already debunked in less than 24 hours. I felt like if you want to go with the wig reveal, that's fine. But let that wig
Let it sit for a
let
while.
people question whether or not it's real for
Yeah.
24 hours, 48 hours, whatever. But now they've already debunked it, and so I feel like now it just looks like a little odd maybe
Weird.
to me, like a
little weird, as we
strange,
say in Boston.
little odd,
Little weird, no doubt. I don't know. Listen, I don't. Again, I agree with you because if it's for the click, right, which it is, which is fine. Again, we talked about earlier. If they're making money off that,
Sure.
I never thought about that. Like teams would actually other influencer types. That's what they do, right?
Yeah.
You get how many people are watching. We go sell it, that kind of stuff. I never came to my mind that teams think of that as another business, like a revenue stream. I guess they do. So if it works with that, great, that clickbait, but let it sit because then it clicks even more. Now it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, it's almost a bad joke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
kind of how I
a
feel
joke
now.
that bombed at the stage, and now you just haul an ass off the stage and get out of there. You know what I mean? It just seems really, really, really strange. And next time, give him the Val Kilmer haircut.
There
He
you
looked
go.
cool.
Right.
He looked really cool in that one.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. But either way, the Jag schedule is out, so certainly
right.
record prediction time for everyone, including the lead, which is coming up next for Tom McManus, for the vacationing Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk